Ex-workers of Reddit, what's the weirdest kink a customer has asked you to fulfill? I was 19 when all this went down. I was a high-end hooker from 17 to 20 years old. Me and a bunch of other girls I worked with, some underage, had a pimp. He was a gay black man named Misha and he passed himself off as a photographer. That's how I got wrapped in it all. He was very popular and had lots of money. He even had an art gallery in a very distinguished district in my area. A lot of people didn't know it, but a lot of the models in his art were underage. He treated us like family at first. Like he was our protector. Anything we needed we came to him. And the girls became my best friends, we partied together, shopped together, emotionally supported each other when one of us would have a rough night with a bad client. He kept us on a steady diet of cocaine and money. You know, so we'd keep coming back for more and be loyal to him. Eventually the clouds rolled away and I saw him for what he was. We were his employees, not friends, and he didn't care about our safety. So I ran away. Anyways, during my run, my girls and I would be brought to these mansions filled with rich older men, most married, some famous or very well known for their success. I was too drugged up and blindsided to care who was who. That and I have a facial recognition issue, so I don't bother learning who's who, but I would randomly hear, oh, he's a politician or he's a football player from one of the girls, so that's how I knew. I had one client, late 60s. We called him Hat Man. To this day I'm still not sure why we called him that. I always assumed he had made his big money owning a hat company. Who knows, I wasn't very smart back then. So Hat Man had a very special interest. He would pay me to pretend I was his pet dog. I'd come over and he had a cage, a food and water bowl, my collar, leash. I wasn't allowed to speak. And I was usually naked. It would start with me laying at the foot of his bed or couch or on the floor. The more I immersed myself in the role, the more money he'd give me. And a lot of times it didn't even end in intimacy. I mean, he'd fondle me, what he called petting, but usually it was just me pretending to be his pet all night while he watched Sopranos until we fell asleep. I'm not gonna lie. Compared to what other clients had me do, this was the easiest and kinda nicest work I had to do. He was nice to me. He pretended I was his adored pet. Compared to my upbringing, it was nice feeling cared for. In the morning I'd wake up still in my collar, in his bed, with a big wad of cash on the bedside table, and he'd be gone, off to do whatever millionaire businessmen do all day.